everyone, it's Edith with Sozo Consulting, and I'm back with you talking about vitamins from A to Z. And as always, we are not curing, not diagnosing, but giving you the tools you need to take the lead in your health. So today, we're talking about vitamin E, and I'm so excited about it because it is a super vitamin, and you'll find out why once we get into it. So let's get started. What is vitamin E? Well, vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means it is released more slowly in your body as it needs it, okay? So you can get with your doctor to find out if you supplement, how often you need to supplement, whether once a week, once every couple of weeks, whatever works best for you, okay? It comes in 8 forms, and the only form that our bodies can use is the alpha tocopherol form, okay? So it also supports our blood vessels, our heart, our vision, our reproduction, our brain, our skin even, okay? And also just healing in general. So all of that sounds like something that we really need, okay? So what else does vitamin E do? So it actually acts as an antioxidant, looking for free radicals. And all free radicals are just electrons that don't have a buddy. We talked about those before. And it's like, hey, I have the buddy. Let's buddy up. So why does it do that? So that we don't oxidize. So you got antioxidant, and then you got oxidizing, okay? And all oxidizing is basically rusting from the inside, and we do not want to do that. So that's why antioxidants are so important. And with vitamin E being an antioxidant, it's a great way for us to stay young and healthy, okay? So it also helps with the prevention of cancer. It helps with the vision loss and other chronic conditions that can try to come up on us as we age, okay? So let's talk about what happens if we are deficient in vitamin E, okay? So first, we could have dry hair. So you can be using moisturizer, leave-in conditioner, even steaming, and 2 or 3 days later, your hair still feels like straw, and you're like, what is going on? It could be you need to moisturize from the inside to the outside. So getting that vitamin E, okay? Then next, hair loss even. And hair loss is so prevalent, especially in the African American community, Black community. And a lot of times it could be because, again, we're needing that inside to the outside. It could be because we are not getting the vitamin E that we need to support our hair, okay? So next, it can actually produce sterility. So maybe you have been trying to get pregnant and have not been able to. One of the factors could be maybe you do need to talk to your doctor about possibly getting your vitamin E levels checked, okay? And not only that, but also for our men, a large prostate, okay? And a lot of our older men deal with this. And so you definitely need to get your vitamin E levels checked because that enlarged prostate can affect you being able to eliminate properly when you go to the restroom, okay? And so we want to empty our bladder fully, okay? That keeps our urinary tract healthy and infection free, okay? So vitamin E. Next, you may experience muscle weaknesses or cramps in your legs, especially like when you exercise. So your recovery may not be as quick as it should be. And so definitely the cramps will go away once you rest, but it shouldn't take as long as it might be taken if you don't have the adequate amount of vitamin E in your system, okay? And then lastly, as we talked about, our cardiovascular system, okay? So it is very important because the vitamin E will widen our arteries, and then it'll also thin the blood so that it makes room for our blood to be able to flow through effectively. Okay, so those are some of the symptoms that you could experience if you do not have the adequate amount of vitamin E, okay? And in order to get the right amount of vitamin E in your system, we talk about twinsies, and we've had one set of triplets. So vitamin E is a twinsy and a triplet, okay? So in order for vitamin E to function like it should, and in order for our body to maintain the levels of zinc we need zinc and vitamin E together, okay? And then also, in order for our body to absorb calcium and magnesium like it should, we have to have the right amount of vitamin E to do that. So zinc, calcium, magnesium, all are dependent upon us having the right amounts of vitamin E in our systems, okay? So it's important that we get our vitamin E, all right? And how are we gonna get our vitamin E? Primarily through our foods, okay? So let's talk about some foods that have a high amount of vitamin E, all right? First of all, let's talk about some oils. So we're gonna do a video on oils real soon. So I don't highly recommend a lot of vegetable oils and seed oils, but some of them are high in vitamin E, okay? But this oil, avocado oil, I do recommend, and it is high in vitamin E. And with avocado oil, you can cook with it at high temps, 500 or more, and it helps you to cook your food and it turn out really good and not go rancid because of the fact it has a high burn rate, okay? So then next, if you like peanuts, they have vitamin E, and that means peanut butter does too, okay? And peanut butter is high in vitamin E. So, and again, we're not sponsored by any of these brands. This is just what I have in the house right now. So next, while we're on the nut trail, if you like peanuts, maybe you like almonds, and they are chock full of vitamin E, okay? So you guys just saw the video we did about roasting nuts. So yeah, you can roast you some almonds and get that vitamin E in, okay? Or you can eat them raw. I love them raw too. Then next, let's talk about some seafood. Seafood is high in vitamin E. Some of them are salmon, and this is smoked salmon, sorry. So yeah, different flavors of smoked salmon. I like smoked salmon. And then our leafy greens, spinach is on the list, and I have spinach in this spring mix here, okay? So some other foods that are high in vitamin E that may not be on my list here. We have sunflower seeds, we have pine nuts, tilapia, trout, red bell peppers, pumpkin, collards, turnips, okay? So all of those, even mangoes, and if you like goose is high in vitamin E, okay? So get some of these good foods in your diet if you don't have them. And if you do eat them, maybe increase them so that you can make sure that you're getting all the vitamin E you need, okay? So let's talk about supplementing for a moment. So vitamin E can be supplemented, and people do supplement with it as well as use it in beauty products like lotions and face creams and oils and whatnot. So again, the skin does absorb the vitamin E, and when you use vitamin E though, the average person needs between 15 and 19 milligrams per day, okay? So you could take up to 1,000 milligrams before there's a toxicity rate. So this is one of the vitamins where there could be some toxicity if you get too much. So studies have shown that people who take more than the 1,000 milligrams per day could have an increased mortality rate, okay? But it is inconclusive, and it was done on people that were already at high levels of disease in their bodies, okay? So I don't want that to scare anyone away from vitamin E, but we want to make sure we don't get too much, especially people who are on blood thinners, because as I stated earlier, vitamin E already widens the blood vessels and thins your blood too. So you don't want too much of a good thing. Now, a lot of times people think, oh, it's natural. Oh, it's a supplement. I can take as much as I want to help me to overcome this disease. And sometimes, even though it's healthy, it can be too much and cause problems. So you always want to do everything in the right amounts. And I won't even say do it in moderation. Do it in the right amount that's for you. And that's where your doctor comes in to partner with. Okay. So, let's talk about disease for a second. Okay. I always end with the disease. So we're going to focus on the immune system as a whole today. Okay. So vitamin E helps the immune system. And how does it do it? By helping the body create T cells, okay? And those T cells fight off disease, okay? So what do? They fight against infection. So those things that infect us are viruses and bacterium and protozoan and fungus, okay? Like all of that can get inside of us and cause an infection, okay? And if our T cells don't do what they need to do, what happens is that infection turns to inflammation, and that means the disease has set in, okay, and we don't want that, okay? So inflammation really is the baseline, it seems throughout this study, for like most diseases. I won't say all, but for most, okay? So that's where that vitamin E is really important, because it helps you fight against those pathogens that will come in to try to tear your body down. All right. And so some of the diseases that are directly affected by vitamin E are some that we've already talked about. So you have cardiovascular disease, which we've been talking about throughout this video. Also cancer, okay? Cataracts, again, we talked about vision. And if you'll notice, this is like blood flow stuff. So with cataracts, it's your blood flowing through your vessels of your eyes, okay? And then you have Alzheimer's, your blood vessels, and how your blood flows through the vessels in your brain, okay? And then you also have where those viruses can get in with HIV, okay? So all of those can be directly affected by you not having enough vitamin E in your system, okay? So getting that vitamin E along with other things like exercise, sleep, and whatever, you and your doctor partner with, all of those are super important to help keep you healthy so you don't go down that road of cardiovascular disease or cancer or cataracts or Alzheimer's or HIV, okay? So all that being said, hopefully there was something I said that you were able to glean from and put to use in your life so that you can get with your doctor, ask questions, and then set up a plan for yourself, okay? And as always with Sozo Consulting, we want you to be blessed, be empowered. We'll see you next time. Bye.